Good morning. Good morning. Hit the thumbs up button. Good morning. Nobody's listening. Nobody's here yet. By the way, shocking that First Republic and PacWest, are two of them up here on the most active. I mean, the top winner is First Republic, 52%. They're still not out of the water yet, by the way. They are still, it's still in danger of going down. And just FYI, if your congressman wears a bow tie, vote him out. I mean, come on. That is a scream for attention. I am wearing a bow tie. Hi. How are you? I'm wearing a bow tie. Hi. Now my dogs are coming up here. I started a new scan and created it last night. And I think it tells me, oh no. We're going to say, I guess I didn't save it. Did I not save it? Well, I got to change one thing. Price close. That's what it is. Market scanner. 65-minute price close. And then we'll save this. And then we'll scan. There we go. So I did a new scan for the day traders in the group. And let's see. Levered ETFs to trade. There are a bunch that I will include. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to put this. I'm listening to Andrew Sorkin yell at the congressman on CNBC. CPI data is coming up at 8:30, so I wanted to get on soon. So let me see. Let me put this in here. TIRK, FAZ, SDS, DRV, UVXY, SRTY, SQQQ, SMDD, SPXU, SDOW. All buys in the 65-minute. I'll go right now. I'll pin this. Okay, we will pin the message. It is pinned. Essentially, I'm going to move this over here. There we go. The scanner that I've got, I can look at our core investments too. mRNA, Roblox, Snow, Tesla, all buys in the 65-minute algo for the core portfolio. Okay, so hopefully when you guys get in, you can see that I'm the first person to comment that joins later, because we only got 2 people that have joined. I'm hoping. Can I pin a different message? I don't know. We'll see, but hopefully they can see that when they join. But I am going to put all of this. Let's see. Copy. And I'm going to put this. Let's see. Copy that. Okay, there we go. We're going to take that out. take that out. We're going to take that out. And that is good right there. Okay. I'm working on scans. What you can see here, mRNA, we'll see. This is the 65-minute algorithm. Let's go and look at them in the actual algo, the strategy tester. So here is the 65-minute. You can see right here, it got you in at 145. You're at 147.98. Another one that is a buy. Roblox. We'll go to Roblox. Oh, and my back is going to start hurting. 41.30, you're in this ascending triangle. You're trading at 41.85, so it's not too great right now, but you're still in that ascending triangle. You're above the 8-day there. Snowflake. Boy, my back is going to start hurting, and I'm going hiking later this week, so 136.39 right there. You're at 137.71. I'm sorry, in pre-market you're trading at 139. So you got some move there. And finally, Tesla. Tesla in the 65-minute algorithm has the button hook. You're in at 176. You're trading at 176. So current candles withstanding, blah, blah, blah. We can look at Schwab in the 65-minute. And then I'm going to move over to the Schwab. Still is not a buy in the 65-minute. Probably will be in the first candle because it's going to move up to probably almost fill this gap. It will fill the gap. It's at 58. So it's up here. So you're going to fill the gap. It's going to trigger. Boom. It'll move up there. I am going to buy Schwab. In fact, I may bring in my Uber is up 5%. I mean, this one didn't touch 30. I'm pissed. Yesterday's, it got down to just about 30.59, it looks like. Or I'm sorry, it did go under 30, 29.97. Let me look at it in Active Trader Pro. Uber. Yesterday's range was, I should have put in the order, 29.97. And today in pre-market, you are up at 32. It would have been your 10% gain if you bought it under 30. It's low enough. Yeah. Let me look at DPST. I don't even know what DPST is. DPST is that one that I said yesterday. Hopefully you didn't buy it at the open yesterday. Which I still think it was down around $9. But it's at $10.34. It's up 20% in pre-market. And by the way, I don't think that it's too low. I mean, look at it. It's at 10.34. So that's only right here in these gaps. Now, I don't know the 65-minute algorithm well enough to say that gaps fill as well as they do in the 4-hour or the daily. But if you've got these stairs on this only goes back to last week. And by the way, just in 1,000 candles, just so we're all on the same page, this 65-minute algorithm on DPST. Yeah. I mean, this is the one, like I said yesterday, that I thought was going to be good to trade. I went for a walk yesterday, so let's see. It's 8:30. We're looking at the number. Wow. Numbers right in line. Numbers right in line. No rate hike, I don't think. If anything, we're getting a quarter. Market's going to fly. Zim was good, and I meant to bring. Hopefully, I brought up Zim yesterday. Consumer Price Index. It's basically inflation. It is essentially was right in line. If you remember, in February, the January number, it's 0.4, but month over month, I think. But if you remember the number in mornings, the number in January, when the February when the January number came out, that's what crashed it is because 6% year over year. So 0.4 month over month, 6% year over year, right in line, which means the Fed with the broken banks probably shouldn't raise rates. Boy, look at Zim on the 65-minute algo. It doesn't look good on the 65-minute algo. Let me see what Brian wanted me to look at. ERF. What the hell is ERF? You guys sometimes have some crazy ones. Enter Plus. ERF. It's energy, $3 billion. It's only a $3 billion market cap. Canada. Low PE, 1.5% dividend. Energy's hard to. Brian, I'd say it's a trade. It doesn't look like an absolute, like, oh my God, it's going to explode kind of thing. That chart just doesn't instill, hey, we're going to 19, especially in today's climate. And I'm changing. My sentiment on energy is going down because I do think that we're headed more likely heading towards a recession. So oil is going to go down. So your personal look at that one, I won't bring it up on the podcast, but your personal look at this one, trade it. I mean, it's just been beaten down, it looks like. Doesn't look like any other reason. But the average target price is $18.56, but that's in an energy market that they expected energy to go up. So next one is SOMLY, SOMLY. I don't even see it. It's not in FinViz. There's nothing in FinViz for SOMLY. It's too small cap. I mean, the chart looks a little choppy, a little too crazy. I mean, this is a 65-minute, so it's a little too crazy. Then the next one is SMGZY. And it's the same thing. I mean, these are lower cap. I can't, honestly, I just can't necessarily tell you it's a good. If you know charting, you'll know just as well as I do. From a fundamental standpoint, I just don't know enough to say, hey, it's undervalued and this gap is absolutely going to get filled. But it's the charts are filled with gaps. Down, I should say. This one specifically, SMGZY, it looks like it trades in hundredths or thousands of cents. ERF. ERF's the only one that I could find in FinViz. Shit, when's the time that you bought in at 12? Was it here? Yesterday? No, it doesn't look like it even got down to 12. Let me switch back to a 4-hour. Here's ERF. I mean, you're looking at July last year, ERF. Just looking at it here, and I'm going to put in my traditional look and take out the 8-day so that I can see a little bit more like I normally look at. Let me look at a weekly. So you're in an ascending triangle on a weekly. You kind of bounced up. It used it 19 as its resistance level. Your 200-day is at $8 here. The MACD is just crashing down. Volume has just gone off a cliff. I mean, that for volume, that's off a cliff. And you're heading back to normal. So you're heading back to pre-pandemic, which is about $5. I mean, it's $5, $6 in my mind. Unless there's something crazy that I don't know. From a chart standpoint, Brian, I would say, yeah, there's nothing here that excites me. I'd be excited that I went from 12 to 14. If you got into 19 and for some reason, it's going to go back up there that I don't know about, but nothing in the financials tells me, hey, it's going to go back to 19. I mean, it's off a cliff there, but that's all energy. I mean, look at PXD, which I bought in at 208 or something, and I'm still holding. I mean, I identified that I'm holding this one, but it's off a cliff. It's all off a cliff. It's all energy. So, good for you, Bill. High five, man. That's where I'm at. I'm going to do my scans now. I posted, if you guys joined late, by the way, I pinned a comment, and there's a comment up there. I developed a scan for the 65-minute algorithm so that I could look to see what in the core portfolio and which one of the levered ETFs are currently in a buy in the 65-minute algorithm. So I did that to see, okay, where are they? Are they in a buy right now? And so I pinned it. Hopefully you can see it, but I'll go over it. TARKFAZ. And I can look at them in the 4-hour algorithm here. Obviously, FAZ, which is a bear. This one has just been, you've doubled your money since February 9th if you got into this one. Yeah, BAC, and Wells Fargo too. Wells Fargo is going to benefit from, and what's ironic is BAC still in the 4-hour is not a buy at 29.71. I think anything under 30 on BAC is a great buy. Now, what you have to realize is, here's the thing. Banks are going to be under pressure for earnings for quite a while. NIM, which is net interest margin. So what a bank does is they take your deposits and they invest it somewhere else, whether it's mortgages, whether it's treasuries, whether it's something, but it's typically, a business loan, whatever. But the difference that they pay you in interest and the interest on that quote unquote loan that they make out using your money, that's what's called net interest margin. And that's the way banks typically make money. Obviously, there's fees, there's other things that banks do that make them money, but that's net interest margin. So when a bank is forced to pay 5% interest, which is where essentially Silicon Valley Bank was forced to go to try and get more deposits in order to bolster up their actual cash position, because If for some reason there's not enough cash in there, and they, like with Silicon Valley, there's a bank run, then your bank actually goes out of business or needs bailing out, blah, blah, blah. So what's interesting about it is Bank of America isn't paying anywhere more than, I think, 2% on deposits. But what I'm banking on, and I think Wells Fargo is similar, you can do money markets and things of that sort. That locks up your money, and that locks up the CDs. You know, grandmas do CDs. That locks up your money. So I do think that Bank of America, Schwab, by the way. James, you brought up Schwab. I know you're in Schwab long term. Ron Barron, who is a legendary Tesla investor, who I really, really like and respect his opinion, bought more Schwab yesterday. Josh Brown bought more Schwab yesterday. They all bought under 50. I'm saying under 60, get in. Get in. They're unfairly they put out a statement. They're going to be treated unfairly. Their earnings are going to suck. There's some things. Buy it long term. This is not one that you trade. This is one that you just buy and basically just sit on. Schwab ain't going out of business. They've got enough money. They're perfectly fine. But yeah, Schwab is one that you want to buy. First Republic, FRC, this one is up 58% in pre-market to $48. It closed at $31. If you're up at 49 and 50, I think under 50, I think it's a decent enough risk to take. So you guys are getting stuff that I'm not bringing up on the podcast. I got to move this. I might get in on, by the way, Schwab. FRC. Trash just came. Let's do this. This is an interesting one. We're going to do charting, and we're going to do MGK. This is Megatap. Oh. MGK. We're going to do add comparison, and we're going to do, let's do the S&P 500. And year to date. And this is what's interesting. This is the mega cap growth Vanguard. I'm going to show this chart. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it perfectly. This is mega cap MGK Vanguard. And it is well outperforming year to date. I mean, it's 8% up year to date. And with the way we're going, this will only go higher. Morning, Brandon. Let's see. SPG. I like SPG. I'm not in Tanger or Simon. I'm telling you, man. Simon's just a monster. Look at that weekly chart. I mean, it's going down. That is from 2016. Ooh. Let's draw A here. And there. And you're still on a little bit of the high side here. If we're considering this kind of the October lows. But I like that one. I like Simon Property Group. It's a good trade. And you can hold it for a while because it's got a good dividend. That's the big one. We were just talking DPST. So here is, and DPST is up 21% in the pre-market. DPST is not a buy on the 65-minute algo, but it is up at 1040, which puts you in this gap range right here. Now, I don't know the 65-minute algorithm well enough to know, but I do know gaps typically get filled. And this gap is all the way up to 1280. So if you bought here at 1045, it might make sense to get in at 1045 to see if you can get back up to this 1280. So, okay. I got my podcast, man. We can talk about stocks in a little bit, but I got enough to go over. Let me do these scans real quick. Market scanner. Okay. We're going to do brokerage holdings. It'll be interesting to see if anything pops up. Amazon. Ooh. Interesting. Pfizer, I'm not going to bring up. Pfizer 40, I don't think it's a bad buy. Amazon, there we go. Energy names that we trade. Let's see if anything energy. Energy sucks, by the way. Levered ETFs, anything pop up here? Nope. Low cost Vanguard, anything pop up? Nope. Spider sectors, anything pop up? Nope. Let's look at my not owned. Anything pop up? Ooh, Mara. GBTC. Mara, by the way, is up 10% in pre-market. GBTC popped up. Tattooed Chef, Pfizer, BNGO. Let's see. Let's go to ARC Holdings. See if anything. There's a bunch of them that popped up here. Vuzi's the only one that I kind of know that I've traded. I'll look at it before I get into the podcast. Let's look at the Dow 30. These hold some weight. Oh, there's the nanny. Procter & Gamble. PG. I own that one in my Webull. By the way, there's a link down below for Webull too, if you guys aren't with a brokerage or want one. I'm in there. I've got a small amount in there. With the banking situation the way that it is, I don't know that I'd put your entire thing in there, but your entire portfolio. But if you want to trade $1,000 with me on a small thing, I think you can find me. I think I'm under there. Under daily stock picks. That's my account, at least. ILMN. That's an interesting one because that one is Carl Icahn started a hostile position in there yesterday. A proxy fight, which is always good for a stock, by the way. Here's Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer talking about, we know what's going on. The club has the inside word. We know what's going on. I'm just looking at energy for shits and giggles. I think there's a regional bank. This one came up before. I don't like it. ENBN Bridge. Let me see. I think there's a regional bank. Commercial bank, investment, major banks, KBW bank sector. I think that's the regional banks, KBW. No, I guess not. Let's look. I'm in TrendSpider, and they have these groups, and you just type in bank, and we can see commercial banks. If I just do banks, nothing crossed up. Huh. Interesting. Let's do commercial banks. I don't see anything. Okay, let me get back to the strategy tester and sign up for Webull, man. I actually like the interface. I like trading on it more than I like Fidelity as far as mobile goes. It's a nice interface, but I'm restricted because of the small account. Okay, let's see. CENX. By the way, no podcast on Thursday or Friday this week. Thursday and Friday, I am going hiking in Virginia. Virginia for lovers. CENX, you had this fall off a cliff. I don't know what has prompted that one, but it has been beaten down. If you look at the volume shelf, you have fallen through. You're looking at probably $8.50 before it gets there, which is where it might be wanting to go. But let's look at a weekly on this one so I can see. So here's COVID. You got down to about 3. Pre-COVID, you were at 791. Not sure, why we would think that aluminum is great, better, post-pandemic than pre-pandemic, but this was all commodity runs, and then you get a, hey, back to reality, and if they didn't cut their costs, make the business better, blah, 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 but CENX, let's look at it. Okay, they are not making money. Their forward PE is 5.2. Their target price is $11.50 from the analyst. Most recent was March 1st, B. Riley, buy to neutral with $12 price target. August sales. I mean, that's decent amount. I mean, the guy sold about $1 million worth at 978 and 888. March 21st of last year, the EVP, genius move, sold at 2764. So, up to you. I nothing here excites me. There's nothing like, oh my God, it's up 18% year to date. You're down 63% for the full year. So if you're looking at full year, this run from October lows looks like it's just been outdone a little bit. I'm kind of seeing see this part just if we're looking at this just the chart in FinViz, I'm seeing right here you kind of had a resistance level. Right here you had a resistance level. Right here you had a resistance level. You're just pulling back to that resistance level. I don't know if it's going to provide support. If I'm looking at the downside, the real support is right about here at about 722. And if we look at the volume levels, if we go back to the 4-hour, we're going to look at a daily. I'll just bring it up on a daily. The algorithm has you out right now, just to be clear, the 4-hour algorithm. Then the 4-hour loses you 40% versus losing 44% in the if you just bought and held. But here's the daily. I mean, March 22. This is the run up in commodities from last year, where you had the Ukrainian war and every commodity just poof. Now the question is, here's the real question: are we in a bull market where you're going to provide support there, or are we in a bear market where you just kind of, again, I think the middle part would probably be where I would say, you're looking at a upside of probably 11. I mean, it kind of makes sense that up here, you kind of had that support. You kind of had resistance up here. You're pulling back. I would say that provides you, between 10 and 12, I would say is your kind of thing. But yeah, nothing I'm super excited about. But again, I don't buy these kinds of material, Cleveland Cliffs. It's my material one. I didn't get in. I'm going to get in. I got to get in today. But this, I'm going to buy more because look at that RSI down at 31. The 200 day is at 17. But these guys just raised prices. They're making money. So you look at CLF, their PE is 7. They don't have a dividend. They're up, same as CANX. They're up 18%. The average target price is 21. So it's not too far off of CANX, but you got 2 upgrades here. You've got a bunch of buys within the last year at about this price. You have a bunch of buys from last year at 22 and 23. So in my mind, if I'm looking at just a material company, I'm thinking Cleveland Cliffs over any of the aluminum companies. These guys, again, they've raised their prices. Read these articles. Cleveland Cliffs hikes hot rolled steel price again. And so they're making more money and they've cut their costs. Over 1 year, they're down 27%. It's kind of the same thing as the aluminum company. Just in my mind, this is a company that's able to increase their prices, and they've shown they've cut their costs. So I kind of like this one. Yeah, and for infrastructure, which is going to get underway very soon, you need steel. I don't know that you need aluminum, but I know you need steel. So that's where I would kind of be going. Okay, I did my scans. Let's see. Oh, I've got what happened here? I have 7 new members of the Facebook group. Woohoo! and I only had, 3 yesterday? I think 3 spammers. For some reason, and I got to change this. So when you enter the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, and guys, by the way, if you hit the thumbs up button, it does help. But when you enter, if you want to join the private Facebook group, it is down below. There's a link tree, and you can look at the picture. And below, there's a bunch of social icons. There's the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just join the private Facebook group. But what's interesting is there's a question to join the Facebook group, and you have to say who's the host of Daily Stock Picks. And so I thought that Gary, when I set it up, I thought Gary was the only answer. I think there's four answers. I think there's Boutros Ghali, I think Bozo the Clown, Jim Cramer, and Gary. So I thought I had set up that Gary would be the only correct answer. Well, somebody answered Bozo yesterday and they got in, and it was a spammer. So I guess maybe I didn't even put it that you had to answer it. But if you don't answer it, then you're put into a waiting thing, and then one of the admins has to basically approve you and get you in. By the way, Bank of America over 30 now, just so you know. Devon Energy is just... I'm going to bring up Energy. Devon down more. Energy clearly thinking recession. That's essentially it. Okay, I'm going to do the podcast. Let's start out with SPY. But yesterday was a wild ride, by the way. This morning candle of 1.21%. The afternoon candle only had 0.29. The morning was nuts. Nuts. And look at the RSI. I mean, you're down at 30. Morning, Sherry. Norfolk Southern. Are they the ones with the train crash, by the way? Are they going to start blaming the steel for the train crashes? Let me say, I'm gonna say this, but I know it's Uber dipped under 30 yesterday, but I didn't have an order in. Yeah, Schwab looks good, by the way. I'm gonna bring up DPST. I think I'll bring up DPST. We'll bring that up. I think anything under 10, by the way, on DPST, I think you're good. At 10.55, which is where it is now, I think you're fine. We'll look at DPST. Okay, let me start this thing. It's 9 o'clock already. I'm going to be here till 11 o'clock. Good morning. It is D-Day, Tuesday, March 14th, and CPI came out. Everything's in line. Do not worry. It's a non-story. You have nothing to worry about CPI. What do you have to worry about? Banks exploding. I got a lot of notes about this stuff. So one thing that I do want to bring up, though, is that I was so busy with Silicon Valley Bank yesterday. I don't think I brought this up. Merck is this week's weekly stock pick. MRK. My personal opinion on Merck is that I think it pulled back enough that I think this week could be good. The algorithm, the 4-hour algorithm does not have you in. It does not have you in. It's crossing the 200-day right there. You're on the way down. The 65-minute algorithm doesn't have you in either. So if you bought in yesterday, probably not the best, because I think yesterday it opened at 104.47. You're at about 105 right now. It's hugging that 200-day. I think if you get it below 106, you're perfectly fine. Honestly, I think if you're playing this one, 106 is good. As long as healthcare continues to go up, you should be fine. It's just had a crazy run. You're coming off a couple of, 125% win here. So, but Merck is the weekly stock pick. Now let's talk about SPY. Yesterday morning was absolutely nuts. In the 4-hour algorithm, you still haven't, the MACD hasn't crossed up. The morning candle, so it's from 9:30 till 12:30. Or 9:30 till 1. 9:30 till 1. That's what this morning candle is. 1.21% on SPY. That is a huge candle. Enormous candle. You opened at 381. Your high was 390. Your low was 380. So you were more towards the upside than the down. It was a green candle, but then you got to the afternoon candle. You opened at 386. Your low was 385. Your high was 389. You closed at 385. So it got a red candle. Your RSI is at 30. This market is oversold. So today you're going to see a bounce. The SPY is up 1.14% in pre-market. You are going to see a bounce. We're hearing more about the safety of banks. Bank of America, back over 30. Citigroup, up over 46. Wells Fargo, up over 40. First Republic is up 50%. Crazy day. Now, what did I say yesterday? DPST, I thought this was your best way to play it. Well, if you got in yesterday, you got in somewhere between $6 and $9. That essentially was the trading range yesterday. $6, maybe, in the afternoon, you got up to $10.15. This morning, you're up 25%. You're at $10.65. So you closed yesterday at $8.48 is where you closed. probably not a great buy. On the 65-minute algorithm, if you played DPST on the 65-minute, you're still not in. There is an enormous gap between 1048 and 1271. I think we're heading back to fill that gap. I think the banks are fairly safe. Essentially what's happening is the government is going to backstop all of the deposits. They're going to make the depositors whole. They're going to make sure that the banks still run. They're still looking for a buyer, but they want to make sure if the banks do fail and this bank actually is taken over, then essentially the shareholders and the bondholders will be wiped out. The rest of everybody, meaning the depositors and everybody that has loans with banks or anything to do with that, they will be made whole. So they're looking out for, quote unquote, the little guy, even though those little guys are enormous guys in this case. But your banks, today's trade, DPST in my mind, complete your trade. Another trade today that I don't think it's too late to get into is Schwab. Schwab, you're going to have an issue with Schwab's earnings. No doubt in my mind, you're going to have an issue with Schwab's earnings. Schwab, when I got up this morning, was about $56 per share, $55 per share. It's almost 60. If you get it under 60. That would be my play. If you get it at 61, at 62, I still think you're fine. Here is the chart of Schwab, and this is on a 4-hour algorithm. Now, yesterday's morning candle was only a 0.62% period. I'm on a 4-hour. So it was only 0.62. Yesterday's afternoon, 0.17. This should not be trading way down here. This should be trading at about 75. I think it's a long-term play. I don't think this is an absolute, hey, overnight it's going to continue to go up. You could go back down towards $50. The problem is how they're going to be valued. And so they put out some statements. Read up on Schwab. You can read up all about it. They've got all of the stuff on FinViz. Its PE is 14. It is kind of high. Year to date, it's down 37%. 1 year, it's down 34%. The average target price, by the way, is $90. March 13th, Citigroup, they moved them from neutral to buy with a $75 price target. You're trading at 60. It's 59 and change. Read up all of this stuff. You should absolutely 100% read that. The last buys were from the CEO. This was about $7 million worth. He bought at an average price of about $68, just to give you an idea. And that was April of last year. So what's changed in a year? The economy. They got to pay more interest. So their margins are going to get squeezed. That's essentially what's happened. It's called net interest margin. But Schwab, Ron Barron, who is a famous Tesla investor, he called up Becky Quick and yesterday and said, hey, I am buying Schwab like there's no tomorrow. It's now a top 40 holding in his hedge fund. So Josh Brown, yesterday, he bought Schwab. He bought it under 50. So he said he didn't know if it was a long-term play. He said, listen, if I'm up 10% in a day, he goes, I may trade it. He didn't necessarily care about, holding on for the long term. He was very clear. He wasn't sure exactly what it was. But I would say Schwab is a buy. Another one that I would say is still a buy, and I continue to think it's a buy, Bank of America. This is, if you got it under 30, kudos. I think it's a $35 stock. I think when the banking system comes back, this is a $35 stock. Your RSI is at 14. I also think Goldman Sachs. This is in our core portfolio. I'm sorry. There was somebody who complained about the noises that I make, but yeah. I make noises. Listen, I need water. I had some oatmeal before this. Let me go back in. Okay, Goldman Sachs. Sorry, I had to make noises. 4-hour algorithm. You're still in this. No, I'm sorry. It got you out. But down here at 316, remember we talked about book value? Bank of America's book value is $30.27. Just buy it under there. Goldman Sachs book value is $304. Goldman Sachs, you're fine buying at 316. Will it go down to 304? In pre-market, it's at 324. It's up 2.64%. The only bank I will not buy, well, by the way, your boy here owns Wells Fargo as well. Wells Fargo under 40, it's at $40.52. In pre-market, it's up 5%. Get it at $40. This is a $50 bank. Let's see what Wells Fargo's book value is. Wells Fargo book value is 42. Get it under 42. The only bank I will not buy, and it might be one of the bigger winners, just unfortunately, is JP Morgan. The only reason I won't buy JP Morgan is a moral dilemma that I have. They were heavily involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And it has been shown that management there had full knowledge of what Epstein was up to, even participated in some of the disgusting stuff that Epstein did. It's questionable whether Jamie Dimon knew about it, but I can't imagine he didn't know about it. So, that's the only bank that I'd say for me, probably not something I want to get involved with. They're up 2%. It's at 134. The other reason I probably wouldn't do it, they're banking up against 52-week highs. You're at 131. Their 52-week high is 144. Their PE is 10. It's expensive. Their book value is $89, and you're paying 131. I just think it's a Jim Cramer hype play, and I think it's too high. I do think that they are too big to fail, and that's a good one to get into. But for my purposes, I will not. FRC is the big winner today. It is up 55%. I still think, here's the chart. You can see it just fell off a cliff. I mean, just absolutely fell off a cliff. Yesterday's morning candle was 12% range. You opened at 26, your low was 17, your high was 34. Imagine getting this bank at $17 yesterday. Yes, the FDIC had to step in. Yes, they had to get some liquidity. They look like they're fine. Are they going back up to 122? Probably not anytime soon. But if you're in it for the long term and you think that regional banks will stay, probably you're fine. Again, the government doesn't want the banking system to fail. They don't want, and let's be clear, they do not want the big banks winning in this. They don't want you as a consumer to only have a choice of 4 banks. They want these regional banks to stay. They want them to basically become, their own entity and stay their own entity. First Republic has some issues. They had a run. Everybody was getting out of the bank. This particular one didn't have enough liquidity. They got the liquidity. They should be fine. Right now, you're at 49. You closed at 31. 49 is up here. Just by the way, when it does open up, it's going to open up here. So in my mind, I think you're going to fill this gap up here at 74 to 113. So if you buy at 49, under 50, I think you're fine with this one. Uber yesterday. And remember, on days where it feels uncomfortable to buy, that's when you should buy. Uber yesterday dipped under 30. Your boy didn't get it. I didn't have an order in. So yesterday, it did dip down in the morning candle. The morning candle was only 0.23%. It got down to 29.97. The RSI is at 28. It doesn't look like it's getting under 30. It is up 7% in pre-market. 7% to 33. I think I missed it. Proxy fight is on with Carl Icahn. There's a pretty good documentary on Carl Icahn on HBO Max if you want to watch it. Illumina. And you can see yesterday it just popped. It was down March 10th at 194. Yesterday, you're at 232, 234. Ironically, the 4-hour algorithm has a buy-in here at 232. Your price right now is 229. I bring it up just because there's a proxy fight. It could go higher. This is one where if we look at a weekly from a long term, it has just dogged. I mean, it has absolutely dogged. This is one that hasn't necessarily come back at all. The October lows, if you look at the October lows, let's go back to the October lows. This one was actually up in October. I think healthcare went up in October. But this is one that was at around 250, and you're at 225. It's below its 200-day. Carl Icahn gets in here. If he can extract value out of this, you're probably back up here at 323. So I bring it up because it did have a cross up on a 4-hour algorithm at 2. Let's run the algorithm a little bit. 232. So 232. I wanted to bring that one up. Zim. I think I talked about Zim yesterday. Good earnings. It's fallen off a cliff since then. It had a nice little pop yesterday. You had a 4% candle in the morning, but it's kind of fallen down. Do your research on this one. This one is one that is a shipper. It only has a $2.59 billion market cap. It is marine shipping. Its PE is 0.43. Their forward PE, they're looking to actually lose money, 88.39. Not lose money, but it's expected to actually lose revenues. That's why the forward PE is so high. Like I said, shipping in my mind is a trade just because the top 5 shipper, I think one of the guys from the Dutch was on CNBC and he said, yeah, we're going back to regular prices. You can see from last year, this was where Zim was up at $53 stock. If we just look at a weekly on this one, and we go back to, I don't know that, there's no more data on this one. If we go back to where it started in January 2021, this was a $13 stock. So, you're up, you're back down to where you were in March of 2021. And then essentially the shippers got this huge run up and you're just back to where you were. So I would probably trade it again. The last earnings were $3.44 per share. Back when it was trading around here, it was $3.49 per share. You can see the incredible dividend, the incredible earnings per share, just coming back down to reality. So I think you've just hit reality there. But if you want to trade it, it's absolutely a good trade. BOIL, natural gas went crazy yesterday, and BOIL. We got out with a 13% gain here on the 4-hour, and this is March 9th. You're not back in. The MACD is just kind of hovering around here. You can see the MACD. This is a 4-hour, so it's just kind of hovering. It's probably going to cross up if we continue up. In pre-market, it's down 1.21%. Like I said, when we do long-term trends of BOIL, it is down in the $2 range. It is not something that is going up. When you look at the 65-minute algorithm and we look at BOIL, let's see. It has you in at $5.70, and you're trading at $5.73. So $5.70 on this candle is where it actually, and that's just yesterday's last candle, $5.70. So if you want to trade BOIL, absolutely do it. Energy is getting beaten down. Make no mistake. This market with energy is saying we absolutely are heading into a recession. Devon in particular has just been a slide. Devon under 50, it's at 49.20. It is down 1.5%. You're heading into your ex-dividend date of today, so you could sell it and you'd still have the dividend at market open. Don't sell it in pre-market. But it's just lost all of its mojo. If we go in and we look at a weekly of Devon, you can clearly see pre-pandemic there's a $25 stock. Now they absolutely have done a better job of making sure that they have higher quality profits, that they're basically sharing their dividend better than prior to the pandemic, but it's $25 stock. You are well above your 200-day, but you're still in a positive direction. You're just moving down. So I'm dollar cost averaging this. I identified it as a long-term purchase. I said anything below 60, I think you can buy. I continue to say that. This MACD is just falling down. It's not one that I would start a position in today, but if you wanted to dollar cost average, in my mind, I think you buy a little bit more like I do. So I wanted to bring that one up as well. UVXY, the VIX went absolutely nuts yesterday. UVXY in pre-market, it is down 10%. So SVXY is your play. But look at that. I mean, look at that MACD right there. Now, this one had you in at 457. You're trading at 633. On March 13th, yesterday, you got all the way. Oh, this is the 65-minute algorithm. That's probably the one that you want to trade UVXY on anyway. But yeah, it got you in. I think we talked about this yesterday morning. 457 was where it got you in. But the candles are like 12% on a 65-minute period on UVXY. It's crazy what it went through yesterday. Now, SVXY is your play because the market, in my mind, is just leveling out. SVXY on the 65-minute, it does not have a buy-in yet. It probably will here very soon. I think on the morning candle, you'll probably get it. You could pull back up to 64, 65. You could see in pre-market, you're at 60. You're up 3%. So SVXY is up 3%. I think you could probably pull to this 200-day at 64. So you're looking at a pretty good gain if you wanted to play that one. I wanted to show you a chart of MGK. MGK versus the S&P 500. Year to date, so it's not a very long time, just a couple of months. But year to date, MGK, which is Vanguard's mega cap growth. And you can look at what's in it, but I just wanted to show you against the S&P. Mega cap growth includes probably Apple and Amazon and Google, things of that sort. Year to date, the S&P is up 0.83%. Mega cap growth is up 9%, 8.69. And you've got an upward trend here. So 310 to 313. So in my mind, I think you've got an opportunity if you want to get that MGK. If we go back and look at MGK, which I would say is not a trade. This is one that if you want, you think growth is going to outperform value, you think growth is the way to go because it just has gotten beaten down too much. We're going to pause interest rates, which will help growth. This is the one that you want, mega cap growth. And right now, the algorithm, the 4-hour algorithm, doesn't have you in. You're bouncing off of the 200-day. But you can see all of last year, this is in a negative trend, and you've just started to swing positive. This is one that back here let's go back to January of 2022, where it was at its highs. It was at 260, and you're 185. So if you think this is again, if you're buying here at 185, you're not trading this one. You're only going up to 260 or so. This is a buy and hold for a long-term trade. This is a long-term investment. But I wanted to show you just year to date, it's greatly outpacing the S&P. There is I think a 60% chance that there is no rate hike next week from the Fed. There is a 40% chance that they do 0.25. I think those are about the numbers. But the question is, do they keep their foot on the gas pedal even with the banking system, quote unquote, breaking? Or do they say, you know what, we're going to pause? If they pause, this market's just absolutely going to just explode. FYI, Buffett all last week bought more Oxy at about $60. I think he knows that your boy is saying, hey, March 3rd, bought 143 million. March 6th, bought 103 million. March 7th, bought 107 million last week. So he's still buying at $60. He still finds it, beneficial to buy this company at that price long term. Remember, his Taiwan Semi was just unusual that he got in for 1 quarter. This one he's buying for the long term, Oxy. I did a scan with the 65-minute, and I can share the scan with anybody that wants me, that has TrendSpider. Just ask me in the private Facebook group that you want the scan for the 65-minute. It will basically look up a group. So I particularly wanted it to look up the group of levered ETFs that are currently in a buy in the 65-minute scan window. And so if I look at that, I posted it in the chat on YouTube. TARK. This is one that's currently in a buy. From 53.16, you're at 54.97. You're up at 58.38. TARK is a 2 times ARKK. So it's 2 times. Huge move in ARK. FAZ, which is the bear of the financial sector. This one will get beaten down. It is down 10%. But you got in here at about 17, 14 is where it got you in. You're up at 24.03. Huge move. Now, in pre-market, you're opening up at 21. But again, FAZ, you're up above the 8-day, so it's going to hold you in there. I would absolutely sell that one if you're in it. SDS, this is the ultra-short S&P. This is just one that got you in at 45.65. It's a loser. Don't short the S&P right now. This just got you in because it just crossed the 8-day. It's just kind of floundering around there. DRV. We talk about the real estate. This is the real estate bear. I don't know that I'd necessarily get in on this one. It's down 3%. I think this is just floundering around the 8-day. I think the momentum has changed in the market, and I think DRN would be your play. DRN on the 65-minute is not a buy yet. DRN is not a buy. It just got you out with a loss. DRN is not a buy. It is the real estate bull. It is a 3-time levered. UVXY got you in on the, it's currently an in, but it's probably going to get you out. It's moved up too far, too fast. If you're in on this one, I would absolutely get out. SRTY, which is ultra short, the Russell 2000. This one has you in from 44.03 right here, and you're at 54.08. Great trade. SQQQ has you in, probably will get you out very soon, but it has you in here at $40.19. It's going to be a loser at 38.76. I sold this around 40 on Friday. I'm not holding any of these levered ETFs. SMDD, which is ultra short, the mid cap 400. Mid caps are not doing very well. They're not making money. So they're just not, this one got you in at March 6th at 17.75. You're at 22.65. In pre-market, you're down at 21, down 7%. SPXU, short the S&P 2000. Again, I think the direction has changed. I think getting you in here, this is just a sucker's buy. I think we're heading, this is a short, ultra pro short S&P 500. I would do UPXU. I think it's UPXU. No, I guess it's not UPSU. SPXD. XPSU. I forget what. XPSS. There it is. SPXS is the opposite. SPXS. Doesn't have it. Ironically, it just got you in with the candle because it just opened up at 21.79. 21.79. So SPXS. This is the bear 3 times. SDOW, which is the Ultra Pro Short Dow 30. This one got you in at 27.68. You're at 29. Sell it for your 10% gain. Now, as far as the 65-minute algorithm in our core portfolio, mRNA, Moderna, is currently a buy. Just in the 65-minute. It got you in at 145. It's trading at 149. So it got you in there. It's a hype play. I wouldn't expect too much hype from them. It's outside the earnings period. Roblox is in at 41.30. You're trading at 42.30 right now. Snowflake is the next one. This one got you in. This one's had some pretty good moves of recently, and 65 minutes seems to take advantage of it. 136, and you're trading at 139. Again, I think there's a gap up here between 147 and 155. I think you could absolutely get up there in a good market. And the final one that it has you in on the 65-minute is Tesla. Tesla's up 2% today. This one got you in at 174.45. 176.45, I'm sorry. And you're at 179. It's up 2% today. So Tesla has you in on that one. As far as the 4-hour scans that I traditionally do that indicate a bullish run may be happening, the first one on a 4-hour is Amazon. And these are the traditional scans that I'm going over. But Amazon is one. The market just opened up, by the way. Amazon, 92.41. You're at 93.26. You're up 1%. I think anything around the lower 90s on this one, I think you're fine. If you can get it in at the 80s, do it. But I think anything in the lower 90s, high 80s, you're perfectly fine buying this one for the long term. Mara, which is our lovely Mara. Marathon Digital Holdings. This is a crypto mining company. $6.72 it got you in it on yesterday's candle. It is trading at $7.60. It is up 13% today. This one could be going on another run. The algorithm loses you 57% on this one, mind you. But if you bought and held, you lost 82%. Again, the algorithm outperforms even though it's losing. Your average win on this, average win, is 41%. The problem is you only win 24% of the time. So just a quarter of the time, 1 out of 4. Could this be that 1 out of 4 where you win an average win of 42? Who knows? If crypto is flying, yeah, this one's going to go flying. There's no real catalyst. This is just basically a volume play. You can see the spike in volume. I think, again, I think this is a $10 stock in its good day. And I think it's going to use this 200. It's above the 200-day. So the question is, where's the resistance level? Well, if we pull back here to the last time, and I'm going to try and use the volume, August is where we use the volume. People aren't holding this one. I mean, they're just not holding it here. If it breaks above $8.50 today, I think you could see it go to $10.50, let's say. So, but Mara crossed up. Another one that crossed up has to do with crypto is GBTC. GBTC is trading up 14%. This one, it's a secondary cross up. It got you in 11 here on March 7th, and you're at $12.67. So it is up 7%, 13.48. It's up big. I mean, GBTC is one that just goes. One, if you want less volatility and just, hey, we're going to make money on packaged goods, Procter & Gamble. PG, I have this in my Webull $1,000 portfolio. By the way, if you don't, join me on Webull. You can trade. I just have $1,000. It's a small account, so I'm restricted pattern day trader. I can't do more than 4 a week, I think is what it is. I don't typically trade in this one. I buy the weekly stock picks. I do some other stuff. I have some Apple in there, but I have some Procter & Gamble too, because I think Webull gave me Procter & Gamble. They'll give you 4 stocks if you just sign up. Use the link below. But PG, cross up at 138.14. You're trading at 137.46. The algorithm makes you 6%, whereas the actual stock makes you 7%. Your average win on this is only 6.89. It's not a huge volatile stock. Now, from a fundamental standpoint, P&G, they have a PE of 24, a 2.64% dividend. Year to date, they're down 8%. Again, it's because the assumption is that they're going to buy off-brand names at the supermarket. And so consumer defensive, household goods, they're just going to buy cheaper products. These guys, March 3rd, JP Morgan upgraded them, neutral to overweight, $155 price target. You're trading at 138. Your 52-week low is 122. You're 13% off that. Your 52-week high is 164. You're 16% off that. The average price target is 155. So this is one that you just buy and hold. It's just like Coke. I mean, I like Coke better. Coke is probably a better option, but Procter & Gamble, it's just one there. And the last one that we have a cross up on, I talked about with the proxy, is Illumina, ILMN. 233, this one is up at 227. 232.62 was the actual buy-in. It'll probably settle down here. I think if you could get this around 220, I think you get in. This one, the algorithm loses you 58%, whereas the actual stock loses you 43%. Your average win is 8%. This is just one where the algorithm, it is so volatile, the algorithm just doesn't do a great job, honest to God. But it had a cross up, so and Carl Icahn said he's getting in, and proxy battles are always good for folks. Now, sponsorship visible. I have no idea where you people are clicking. I have 2 phone numbers. And my old number, I have the cap of 12 people who have signed up. And for some reason, I think there was, let me see who signed up yesterday. Let's see. I'll go into visible and look. But you click the link below. There is a link tree. Go to the link tree and you can sign up there. Unfortunately, what happens with Visible, because they're a sponsor, when I get to 12 people that are referred, even though your referral, I just don't get credit for it because it just kind of goes into the bank. Kimberly, thank you, Kimberly, for signing up. I really appreciate it. Tell me where you got the link from, because it says I earned the credit yesterday, but I hope that everybody's coming in through the link tree. I have a feeling that maybe my link got out somewhere out there that's a little more popular. But if you're paying any more than $30 per month for your phone bill, just switch to Visible with the link in the link tree or the link down below, one or the other. $30 a month, you're on the Verizon network. Visible is owned by Verizon. They say you get deprioritized. I've literally sat next to Verizon customers who are paying $75, $90, $120 per month for their phone service, and I get the same exact service as they do. I was in a stadium last year. I got the same exact service with somebody who was paying $80 a month to Verizon for their Plus plan or something. Literally, I got the same thing. So if you click down below, you can see a link, sign up, get Visible service. Second thing is Webull. Click down below, you get free stocks. There's a Webull account. Join me on $1,000. I'm donating whatever I make at the end of the year. I'll donate to charity. Right now, I am at, let's see, I will give you an update. I am not doing very well. I am at $1,083. So I'm up 8.3%. I don't consider that very well because just a couple of weeks ago, I was at $1,200. So I've not been managing this one very well, but 8%, you can't argue with that. Let's see. I'll tell you what my actual core portfolio, which is in Fidelity, which I have listed in TrendSpider, which is the next sponsor that I'll go over. But my core portfolio, let's see. Come on. Oh, an unknown error has occurred. Why is that? Let's see. Is it going to... The app just may be screwing up on me, I think. There we go. I should be playing the Jeopardy music as we speak. Oh, man. Yeah. Balance data not available. So either I lost all my money. Maybe I have to start a GoFundMe because Fidelity's telling me I got no money in here. It's the app. I'm not a huge fan of Fidelity's app. Fidelity's app has always been kind of hit or miss for me. Yeah, an unknown error has occurred. So they're having problems with the app. But I think I was up like 18% or something like that, 12%, somewhere in that neighborhood. But next one, TrendSpider. If you are interested in the charts that I show, sign up for TrendSpider. That's the screen that you see. I have watch lists, core investments, energy names, levered ETFs, low-cost Vanguard, spider sectors. I have all of that in TrendSpider. So, yeah, Brandon says Fidelity's not working for him either. Yeah, F Fidelity, go to Webull. Yeah, they're having problems. They always have problems. Maybe they're getting taken over by the FDIC. Go to Schwab. Let's see where Schwab is. Let's see. But yeah, TrendSpider, sign up with the link below. Use code DSP25 and you get 25% off. Schwab is at 56. So, I think you can get this one at 50. Anywhere in the 50s, I think you can buy this one. And I think long-term, you'll be fine. Right now, if we look at the 65-minute algorithm on Schwab, since it's opened up and we have one candle this morning, the 65-minute doesn't even have you in. The MACD is about to cross up. The RSI is quickly moving up. It's at 38. It was down at 20 on yesterday's morning candles. So it's quickly moving up. You can see the volume in this one is just enormous. Bank of America back under 30 at 29.50. So it looks like the markets, while they're up, have been taking a step back and just a little less euphoric, if you will. But the other sponsor that I want to say, and I told my boss Travis last night, I said, hey, I don't know if anything's going to come out of this, but go to idshop.com. If your company can use badge services, if your company can use paper, if your company can use printers, just go to idshop.com. That's the company I work for. So, yeah, give them a little love. Because you know what? It ain't like you guys tipping me. Remember, I always used to ask for tips. I don't ask for tips. I want you guys to visit the sponsors. I want you guys to get a service out of this. But if you make money in this market, if you're trading DPST and you've made a killing, say you put $1,000 into a DPST and all of a sudden you're up, what? Let's look at it right now. DPST. This is on the 4 hour. Because there was no other podcast that I know of that was saying, hey, buy DPST. I think I was the only one. I took a lot of hate on Twitter for that one. What are you telling people to buy that one for? Well, it's going to come back up. So I said that on Sunday when the rescue plan came out. I said DPST is going to be your play. Watch. It's up 23% today. If you got in at the low yesterday, the low was $6.96. So if you got in at 7, you're up 30% today. Well, no, I'm sorry. You're up almost 50%. What am I talking about? Well, here, if a bartender gives you a $10 drink, you give him a, dollar tip? You're tipping him 10%. Your boy here, if you got $1,000 gain, you can give me $100, 10% tip. I'll take it. But only do that if you made money. Do not tip me just for a tip on a stock. Do not tip me for a tip on a stock. So, yeah. Do not tip me on the losses because your boy will lose your money as well. As you've seen in Devon, buy at 59. It's at 49. So, okay, I've gone on for 10 minutes. But again, sponsors, Visible, TrendSpider, ID Shop, and Webull. I think those are the 4 things that in my mind you can do. I would not be afraid of the banks. I would not be afraid of these banks. If you're seeing like First Republic, right now, First Republic is trading at 46.18. Today's candle, the 65-minute, the high is $50.97. I think if you can get this under 50, I think you're doing okay. It started to cover this gap up to 78. I think if you can get this in the 30s, even better. But do not be afraid of these banks. I don't believe, you're risking money, so do not throw rent money in on this. This is money. This is grocery money, as Sherry always says. This is grocery money that you're throwing at this stuff. There is a chance that this goes to zero. Look, Silicon Valley Bank shareholders are at zero. If for some reason the Fed, the FDIC, is going to take over FRC and Frontier Bank, First Federal. If they're going to take it over, it goes to zero. Make no mistake, the Biden administration doesn't want shareholders to actually benefit in this. They want the government to benefit in this. So they will take it over. That is the danger of that one. But if you're putting your money in Bank of America, they ain't going to take over Bank of America and wipe out shareholders of Bank of America. They ain't going to take out the shareholders of Goldman Sachs. You might go down, 10, 15%. Have your stop losses set. But understand, those ones that are too big to fail, you can absolutely put some money in there. Google is up at 94. Your boy said get it at 90. I bought it at 99. So, I lost myself some money. But it's a long-term buy. Disney is at 93. I bought it like 112. So, get in on some of these stocks. It definitely is time to start looking at some of this stuff. I don't know that we're going into a deeper recession. The fear, if you made it to 42 minutes and you listen to all of my sponsorships, then you're going to want to listen to this. ChatGPT suggested that March 15th, tomorrow, is the biggest stock market crash. So if you're buying today, which I am, just remember, it isn't rent money. It is grocery money. Because ChatGPT, they might be right. It's artificial intelligence. It's way smarter than we are. I mean, it's much smarter than I am, isn't it? It absolutely should be.
So just realize tomorrow is when ChatGPT said that the market will crash. Might have been a couple of days late. I mean, just based on Goldman Sachs here. If you bought at 350 back on March 9th, I mean, God, you're at 323. Ooh, you lost 10%. Big deal. You'll make it back. It'll come back. Might take 10 years, but it'll come back. Let's look at the core portfolio real quick because I'm seeing a lot of green. Boeing up 2%. Bank of America up 3%. Cleveland Cliffs up 3%. Costco up 1%. Google up 2%. Goldman Sachs up 2%. Meta up 6% because they're cutting their costs. Meta at 192. This one's going crazy. Meta, they're printing money. They are going to have the quarter of all quarters. Trust me. It's going to be crazy. But Meta, 6%. Moderna up 1%. Microsoft up 1%. NVIDIA up 3% at 238. NVIDIA is up to 238. Ugh. Oxy over 60. PanW up 1%. QCLN up 3%. Qualcomm up 2%. Roblox up 4%. Shopify, which I said at 40. Buy Shopify at 40. It's up 5% at 44. Snowflake up 1%. Simon Property Group up 2%. Tesla up 4% at 181. I still don't think you buy Tesla there. I think we're coming down. Uber up 8%. Should have gotten it at 30. I'd be up 10% right now. VOO up 1.65%. So if I could see my Fidelity account, I'm sure I'm making out bank. Exxon up 1%. I mean, Devon is just a broken stock right now. Ugh. But yeah, I've gone on enough. You guys have listened enough. I thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting the sponsors. I am going on YouTube now. I will bug those guys. They'll have to listen to me for a while. Have a great day. Oh, no podcast Thursday and Friday. Your boy is going hiking up in the Smokies. I think along the Appalachian Trail in Virginia and North Carolina. So for 2 days, I am out of pocket. But I may pop every now and then on the Facebook group and Twitter. Who knows where I'll be? But okay, see ya. Share exports on the disk. Ooh, I got a dog outside. Did he just poop? That dog would have a lot of poop. That's a big boy right there. Crypto's nuts. Let me read your comments. John, I did not pick up regional banks yesterday. Schwab, I think I'm going to try and get Schwab closer to $50. Bouncing, okay. I think I'm going to wait for it to get closer to 50. DPST is one that, let me look at DPST. God, I hate when Active Trader Pro does this. I have to restart Active Trader Pro. It's moving slow. Let's quit it. Yes. Hey, SMMT up at 160. Insider buys are pretty strong. Let's start Active Trader Pro. Let's look at SMMT. Sherry, you bought in on SMMT, I think. Look at that, from $1.49. Look at that move on the 65-minute. Look at that. That's it. Oh, but the RSI is at 64, and the volume is kind of divergence. Volume's trending down, RSI is going up, and the price is going up. It might just be an earnings thing. It might be an earnings thing. Devon has turned positive. Devon is over 50 and it's under 50. Continue. I got to go get my... Do 352. I think Fidelity is having problems. Let me see. Face ID. By the way, if you're in Fidelity, yeah, they're having problems with their service. Oh boy, I got the Win debugger. I have to force quit. I will force quit that. Okay, and then we're going to restart it. I got to go look at... Joe, high five, Joe. Damn, you got all those banks at the lows. Nice play yesterday. I honestly think, yesterday was one of those days that absolutely 100% you could have traded and be fine with. Delete. Tasty Trade. Those guys are fun. I think that guy's on CNBC a bunch. He's got like the beret thing, I think. But I don't think he has a ponytail. I think he whipped around one time and I thought he was wearing the beret with okay, we got GarageBand. We're going to quit with the ponytail because I do not like those two guys, the Nigerian brothers on CNBC. I am glad they are not on CNBC. And if you don't know, they are not on CNBC because they completely misled people with the Voyager crypto app, which went bankrupt. And CNBC was like, F you. And their lawyers were like, yeah, we don't think you should go on and talk about that stuff. F them. I'm just not a fan of theirs whatsoever. But let's look at, here I'm going over to Active Trader Pro, and we're looking at Schwab. And it just doesn't have, I think it's moving. Okay. Fidelity's having some issues, so I'm just a little bit worried about the quotes here. But shit, I couldn't trade even if I wanted to. Maybe I'll buy Schwab and Webull. This is a good example, by the way. Do not have all your eggs in one basket. I used to have 4 brokerage accounts when I was actively trading. Today, if I wasn't to trade, am I upset? I'll get back, But I'm going to go and let me go over to Anchor. Let's look at, I'll put up DPST because I think you guys are more interested in day trading DPST. I hear Jim Cramer on TV in my living room, but let me look at Fidelity then. You guys will get updated on I don't want Mint. No, I don't want to do Mint. Mint's working, so now I'm fucked on the afternoon update. Year to date, I am up 9.31% in Fidelity. Today, I am up 1.13, so I am completely underperforming the indexes. Wow. Why am I underperforming so much? Hold on, I got to look at 1.11. All positions, let me see. It's probably Apple. No, it's not Apple. Let me see. Apple, Amazon's my other one at 0.75. That's a big one for me. PACW, Snowflake's actually down 2%. Wow. Snowflake, Pepsi, and PACW are my down. And Etsy. Etsy's down. Wow. That's amazing to me that you have this move in stuff. Wow. Meta is laying off 10,000 employees. And they're closing 5,000 open requisition. Wow. My friend is Allison is a recruiter for Meta. I hope she's okay. Because usually when they do that, guess who gets locked down? Meta's flying because if you're laying off 10,000 people, they're just printing money at this point. I mean, honest to God, they're gonna print money. Here's the two things that you have to know. A, Meta works. I mean, Meta works. Facebook ads work. So people are going to pay for that. Number two, if you get TikTok bounced out of the US in any way, shape, or form, Meta's the big winner. I'm going swapping tubes today. And you cut your costs. It's kind of like I say with Cleveland Cliffs. They're raising prices, lowering costs. Come on, that's a business. What does Meta do? They're not raising prices, but they're absolutely reducing costs by big amounts. You lay off 10,000 people. Okay, let's put this into perspective. Say the average person at Meta is making $100,000, okay, of the 10,000 people that they're laying off, $100,000. It's probably closer to 200. Let's say the average is $200,000. What's 200,000 times 10,000?
The answer is 2 billion.
A year, just in salary savings. 2 billion a year just in salary savings. That's not including the 5,000 people that it deserves to fly. They're going to cover the 250 gap. In fact, in my mind, I'm fucking buying that one in the 180s when it dips back down. So let me look at DPST for you. I'm still uploading. It's processing. Yeah. And U.S. government employees can't have it on their phones. And I mean, make no mistake about it. The CHIPS Act, while expensive, pales in comparison to what we pay to protect Taiwan and that the western strait between Taiwan and China. It pales in comparison. If we get chip manufacturers over here in the U.S. or to some of our other allies, we don't have to pay that price. Make no mistake, the culture war of fighting TikTok is against China. So there is a political purpose to actually getting off this because we make them the enemy. Even though the Chinese people are not our enemy. It's the Chinese government. And it's just a competition. And I liked the way, and I'm not a big Kamala Harris fan, but I liked the way she positioned it. And I'm sure it was probably just better spoken by her than it was Biden. But we want healthy competition with them. We don't want confrontation. And I like that stance. I don't like the confrontation. I don't like making them our enemy because they're just, it's just the government, man. And it's just competition. It's not something to kill people over. That's what destroys me is killing of people. Okay. I think I'm going to title the episode DPST FRC three 1423. I'll look. I'm going to put my notes in. And then I've got to just go to Anchor and pull in. FRC down at 45. Schwab at 56. God, I got to get to trading, man. I'm doing all this crap. I ain't making my money. My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. Wiggle, wiggle. Full show. Boom. Then we're going to put this in. Okay. And then I'm going to publish. And then we're going to close that one. SMMT at 170? God. Why didn't I put my grocery money in there? Carvana I still have listed. Schwab. Okay. Tweet. Boom. I have to share all this from Spotify, I think, is the better one. Spotify puts up a fucking picture. I don't know what it is, but the interface between Anchor and Anchor and Twitter sucks now. Just the interface. Okay, we're going to do this one. X tweet. And then we'll do another one. Twitter. Buffett bought more Oxy. And we'll just do that. What the hell? I want to look at this. I don't think Spotify paid me for ads yesterday. They did not. And by the way, it ain't even lunch money that they pay me. I literally could buy a cup of coffee for what they pay me, so. But they didn't pay me yesterday. Those bastards. Trending. Melania. Why is Melania trending? Let's go back to... Oh, Kellyanne Conway divorced? You know, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. Him getting involved in the divorce, disgusting. He was the reason for the look. That's great. Okay, I don't want to look at this. SMMT at 174. We're still on a run on SMMT. Hold on. This is getting some good momentum. Thanks, Brandon. You're good to me, man. And I hope I never beg. I mean, listen, I'm in the position where I shouldn't beg. But the majority of what I make on the podcast, I will say, I do give away. Or I reinvest it in the podcast. Like last year, I bought myself the MacBook. That was from the partnership with TrendSpider. And I bought a light so that you guys can see me. You can see my blonde hair. In the link tree, just do Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. It's called personal. I think it's called Gift Me. Let's see. I'm going to move you over here. I'll show you. Let's see. I have to sign in. So I didn't want you guys looking at my my login to here. It looks like you're lost. Log in. Douchebag, log me in. Copy. Just when you make money, Joe. Just when you make money. Yeah, so here. This is the link tree. If you pull it up on your phone, it's a little bit better. But you can see there's the TrendSpider. I got YouTube as second. I got listen to Spotify. I got a newsletter, which I'm trying to do something with. I'm just lazy. I can't do it. But if you want to sign up for the newsletter, it's right there. You can gift me with Venmo right there. You can sign up for visible service. Support the podcast is a monthly fee. Where, you know, if you just don't want to think about it, you can pay me monthly. I think that's through Anchor. So don't worry. If you want to do that, that's fine. You can sign up for Venmo because I think I get money for that one. Sign up for Webull. You can gift me with PayPal or gift me with Cash App. I just prefer Venmo. Venmo is just nice and easy. There's my Twitter link. There's an Instagram. There's the Apple podcast. And I have a list to Good Pods, which is where I listen, the other podcast that I listen to. But I don't think I've updated that one in a long time. But yeah, and here's all the social links. So there's Twitch. This is, I don't even know what that is. Spotify, Apple Podcast. That's the Cash App. I think that, yeah. Oh, that's Venmo. That's Venmo. And then that's email. If you want to email me, that's the email. I ain't going to respond to email very quickly. Yeah, Brendan, you're one of the I think I have quite a few on there that are monthly. And if I don't thank you enough, I should, but again, it shows up monthly. It just kind of, it all gets put into the advertising kind of payment. So I'll see couple times a week, hey, this payment is pending. So I'll know somebody paid me. It just doesn't tell me who paid me. I have a list of the supporters though. And I wish I could communicate out, but I don't think I do. I have a new comment. But yeah, that's where you go. SMMT is at 170. It's got a red candle on a 5-minute. Yeah, I hate begging. Yeah, but Brandon, here's the way I tell people. I did this when one person was listening. And I think I was the only listener. I do it for free. I enjoy it. I have fun. I like meeting people. And the one thing that I do like is teaching people. And teaching people that there's a way to invest and a process to invest. And you don't have to take my system. My system is just mine. It's what I'm comfortable with. The tools that I have, I'm comfortable. Yeah. Joe, thank you so much. But I really, if you make money and you do well, I figure I will do well because it's kind of like paying back. I've done well on investments, and my world is kind of, I go hiking whenever I want to. Who was I talking to? I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and they're like, I'm jealous of your life. I'm like, I don't leave the fucking couch. The entire weekend. The entire weekend. I literally was on my couch. I had a little bit of a back injury, and I'm a little bit worried right now because my back is tightening up in this chair, and I'm going to get up and go for my walk. Thanks, Brandon. I hope I'm entertaining. I mean, I try and interject some entertainment. You would be shocked. Last night, I think my friend Nikki called me, and she was like, she said, if you and I ever got into a fight, would you reach out afterwards? And I said, no. She goes, motherfucker. She goes, that was quick. I said, listen, I live in the moment. I said, there are times when I just want to talk to somebody, and I always have somebody to reach out to. There are times when I want to talk to nobody and I just want to sit alone. And I said, why would I tell you that I'm going to get in touch with you if you insult me? And she's like, fuck you. And we got into a fight. It was good. But everything's good. I mean, most of my friends I fight with, it's just fun. But entertainment is what I'm here for. DPST, by the way, I am looking at it on here. We will move you over to Active Trader Pro. I'm looking at DPST. Maybe I have to do that. Turmeric also, I think, helps with joints, inflammation. And Sherry, I'm cheap. I don't want to pay for supplements. B, I am a big believer that if you need a quote unquote supplement, you're just not eating the right foods. some of those supplements that I know, and I want to say this doesn't apply to all supplements, but I have a friend that used to work at the CDC in the lab, and she wound up testing some of these supplements. She was a big Taekwondo person. I think it's Taekwondo. It's one of those types of where you use your feet and you punch and stuff like that. And she wound up going in and testing her own supplements that she was using. And it was crazy what she found. And I don't remember what she found. She just told me, she goes, yeah. She called me up and she was like, you're right. Just eat fucking food. Don't buy the supplements. So I think my mom is a big believer in Joseph Furman, who sells supplements, and they are crazy expensive supplements, which my parents always assume means good. I know it's probably not good. Turmeric, I will tell you, Sherry, turmeric, I've been told by the best of the best. Holy shit. Ocean First Financial, OCFC. It's up 10%. They've got the chairman and CEO on set right now. He's trying to shore up his bank. But turmeric works 100%. That's why turmeric and black pepper, you can't go wrong. I mean, if that's a supplement, shit, what the fuck are they putting in that supplement that could be bad if it's just turmeric and black pepper? There's nothing. But turmeric, I don't use, and I should. 100% I should. Spices are huge. And I justify, Sherry, you'll laugh at this. I justify pouring an entire package of chocolate chips down my throat saying, chocolate's good for you. I ignore the fact that it's got like a stick of butter and all of that saturated fat. Turmeric works. I mean, did I just turn into do I have to start my own supplement line now? That's, by the way, the biggest thing with some of these YouTubers who are fitness people. You can start a white label supplement line and put your own name on it. I think Flav City with Bobby is one who's done some of his spices and stuff like that. And they can make some really good money. I mean, we're talking the last time I looked at some of those YouTubers that do supplement stuff, the margins, they basically shared at first. I think it was like a 50-50 with the manufacturer. They would market it and blah, blah, blah. They would get 50% of the actual, like say you pay $20, the actual influencer gets $10, and the manufacturer gets $10. Then some of the influencers got smart and they said, you know what? We're just going to do our own. We're just going to white label, blah, blah, blah. Some of those margins are 95%. Larry, that in my mind is the way I want to go, but I'm so cheap. Listen, I have beans and sauteed spinach for dinner sometimes, just canned beans. That's how cheap I am. My friend who I'm going hiking with, we're going hiking with his friend, ironically named Gary as well. But the three of us are going hiking. And VJ's like, yeah, last time I went hiking with Gary, he went into Walmart and bought refried beans and tortillas and lived on that for 4 days. I need to, Sherry. Sherry, have fun at the gym. I'm out of here too very soon. Wells Fargo is underperforming the S&P. I just got that alert from Fidelity. And if you don't have watch lists set up in Active Trader Pro and stuff, you can get all this. But Wells Fargo is underperforming the S&P 500 today. How in the world is that the case? Hold on. We're going to go. I'm going to bring you back over to Safari. And I am going to look up. Wells Fargo. I don't know how that's the case. Wells Fargo's up over 40. It got all the way up. I mean, it's lost its mojo. The banks have lost their mojo. TQQQ is still up. Really? 28? Yeah, it's down at 29. Bank of America at 29. Wow. I'm going to move you back over. Yeah, the banks have lost themselves again. They had this big run up. You know what hasn't lost its mojo? Mara. I think the whole market has lost its mojo, to be honest with you. But Mara seems to be okay. I'm going to move this in a little bit. Mara doesn't really have confirmation still. But Bank of America has lost all of its mojo. Oh, I was bringing up Tesla. It looks like TQQQ is still... I mean, I didn't bring up TQQQ, but... yeah, Bank of America, shit. Look at that, $30.50. And then when the market opens up and people are actually able to trade, to me, this is a buying opportunity. And I will tell you, the reason I say this is this to me screams of retail market orders for selling. Because if you go up in pre-market like this, and then all of a sudden you go down to where you were trading yesterday in the 28s, I don't understand that. KRE, this is the regional bank. Everybody's getting out of Bank of America. Because look at the KRE. This is the regional bank ETF. This is still up 7% from yesterday. Whereas if you go to Bank of America, I mean, look at where Bank of America closed yesterday. You're right about trading where it closed yesterday. You're up 1.89%. KRE is still up almost 9%. But it was way down yesterday, too. Meta's under 190. Yeah. No, my number one rule, Joe, is don't listen to a douche on the internet. Number 2 rule is don't listen to Jim Cramer. I think my number 3 rule might be don't be afraid to take profits. But you have to identify, and for instance, DRV is a good example. Let's go back to Safari View. And I'm sorry, Devon. Devon is a good example of this. So, for instance, when you say don't be afraid to take profits, PXD is a good example as well. Up here, I mean, if we just look, I'm going to go to let's go to a weekly of Devon. We'll look at the long term. Here's a weekly of Devon. Now, when you were up here in the 70s in June, I was taking profits. I think Devon, I first got in March. I took profits up there, but I didn't identify it as long term. When we got here to July, I think that's where I started getting into Devon around 52, 53. That's where I started really, okay, I'm identifying it as a long-term trade because I do think that it's getting up here to 70s. In hindsight, probably should have taken profits there. You do have a double top. You do have it's a triple top right there kind of thing. It's close enough. I don't think that this one's level, but probably should have taken profits there. But in my mind, I think that's just where you're going back to when energy gets to $120, oil gets to $120 a barrel. I love honey. I don't drink coffee. And when I do drink coffee, it's black. Because honestly, Brian, I got a sugar addiction. It's crazy how addicted to sugar I am. For a guy who, tries to eat healthy and stuff like that, I just don't do a very good job sometimes. Google is up 3%. Meta's back above 190. I eat pretty well. I try at least. I try. Okay, it's 10:30. I am out of here. I will be on tomorrow. I won't be on Thursday and Friday, but I will be on tomorrow. So I'm heading to North Carolina. If it were work, I'd say, hey, anybody in North Carolina or Virginia, let's meet up. But not this trip. I will be hiking and driving. And by the way, Brian, I don't know how you... I am not looking... I have to, in April, I'm probably driving up to New Jersey. I'm not looking forward to that. It's a 15-hour drive each way. So... which means I got to get my tires looked at too. I'm out of here. I'm going for my walk. It is currently 35 degrees outside here in Atlanta. Whoop, whoop. And my dad just sent me an email about something 135% up. No. Where am I going? I don't even know where I'm going. Hold on. I'll tell you where I'm going. Because I just got an email. I am going to Sky Retreat in Crumpler, North Carolina. I'm going to the middle of nowhere, Crumpler, North Carolina. Man, Brandon, see? Kudos to you, man. I am going to Crumpler, North Carolina because I told my friends that I wanted to go up to a place called Gray's Highland. And I think it's around there somewhere. It's where you can hike with wild horses. Basically, the ponies come out and they greet you and whatever. So, yeah, tomorrow I'll be on for the ChatGPT crash day. Wow. See, Brandon, I'll tell you, I'm 52 years old, but I think my entire life, I probably haven't done that amount of manual labor for work. It's horrible. I probably have done that amount of manual labor around the yard, though. I do a lot of yard work. In fact, I think I told you guys I cut down 3 trees. And when I say cut down, I didn't really cut down. Pigeon Forge, I'll tell you, I've never been to Pigeon Forge, but I have friends who have been to Pigeon Forge. If you go to Pigeon Forge, try and do it not in peak season. And the reason I say that is the crowds at Pigeon Forge have gotten too crazy. And my friends have said it's just not fun. It is a little hodunky. But they have a cool alpine slide there, I think. I think that's where they have the awesome alpine slide. It's kind of like a small town Vegas without the gambling, is from what I've heard, with like little roller coasters and fun little places to go. It's also a very outdoorsy kind of thing. But yeah, I'm going to Crumpler. Where is Crumpler? Hold on. Let's look. Let's see. Best places to visit in Crumpler. Ooh, they got an alpaca farm. Your boy might be going there. Canoe and tube rental. It is too busy to do that. Supposedly, there's not a lot to eat there. But they have an essential Crumpler, Phipps Parma Country Store Jam. So it looks like boys are playing. Let's see. Let's go to the Wikipedia. Crumpler is an unincorporated community, North Carolina Highway. It has nothing. I have not, but it's a place I want to go. What is there to do in Crumpler? Let's go to the map. For anybody that wants to know where Crumpler is, this is essentially it. We got quite a drive, I think, or Thursday. But this is the place where I really want to go. I don't know that we're going there, but because my buddy picked it. Let's see. I think it's. Let's see. Ponies. I think it's Grayson Highlands. There it is. This is the place to go if you want to hike with ponies. Grayson Highlands State Park. And so I think Crumpler's around here somewhere, so we can do like a day trip. Grand Tetons are awesome. I have friends who have hiked up there. I have not gotten friends to go with me there, though. Bank of America under 29. I don't know. Is this updating? It looks like it is, yeah. Bank of America at 28.97. Still has lost. It looks like 29 might be a good support level for the last couple of days. Let me see. Yeah. Grand Teton. I think the Grand Tetons have a gorge. Schwab, let's see. Schwab shouldn't be a day trade. Schwab's trading at 56. Hehan. Essentially, if you're talking about what happened from here, March 9th, all the way down, I mean, this is a 65-minute candle. This is the algorithm on a 65. Still doesn't have you in. But it probably will get you in very soon. Schwab is it's another bank that essentially has to pay higher dividends to get bigger deposits, and has to essentially the paper that they own, the long-term treasuries, they're going to have to realize losses on those, whereas they don't want to realize losses. They're going to be forced by the government to actually realize losses on long-term treasuries, whereas they were like, hey, we're fine. We don't have to realize the losses. So it's going to look like a worse off bank than it actually is. And for paying the net interest margin, here, if you want to know what really happened, here, just go here to finviz.com. And there's a shit ton of articles. I mean, look at March 13th. You have, 20, 30 articles right here about what happened to Charles Schwab's. And here, Yahoo Finance has 6:05 p.m. last night. Q1 View, February core net new assets rise, 8:25 a.m. Banks rally. You can read up all about it. It's essentially just the way they're going to report, which is rebounding 13% after closing 11%. The financial services was hit despite assurances it is well positioned and had plenty of liquid on hand. The assumption is that if these guys make it through, they're just going to announce significantly lower earnings than what they had. So it's an opportunity. I mean, when Ron Barron, when everybody that I know who's a significantly smarter investor than I am says, hey, we're buying into this, and they're putting their own money into it, I'm thinking, hey, it's an opportunity. So it's now 10:35. We got the second candle here. Still no buy on this one. but you're down at 56. In my mind, if you can get lower 50s, you're good on this one. If you're getting 40s, I think it's legendary on this one. I think if you're getting mid to high 50s, I think you're still doing okay. Now you're making me want to just do that trip. I got enough anxiety. Listen, my happy place is on the couch with my dogs. That's my happy place. So, okay. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's take one last look at DPST. In fact, I want to look at DPST on the Active Trader Pro. Because I love you. There is no reason for you to cry. Let me see. DPST seems to have, just like Schwab and all the others, has lost its confirmation here. So you're below the 9-day, but it looks like it's getting back up there. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So yeah, you're down below your 9-day, which is the green line is the 9-day. The 21 is where you're really underneath it, and it's kind of using that as a resistance level. Your VWAP is still 1043. Your Bollinger Bands are kind of syncing up. They're expanding out. See how you cinched up here and then you expanded out and it got above, and then it quickly just got below. In my mind, I think if you're in under 10, you're good. I wouldn't start a position here because I'd wait till it gets under 10. Your day range is 975 to 1118. So I think 975 is your bottom. I think if you get to 975, I think you buy again. Because again, I in my mind, I think the government has said, hey, we're backing everything. But remember, ChatGPT said tomorrow's the crash. So, and Ihan, I hope I explained it to you well enough. I just know that, rule number one of this podcast, do not listen to some douche on the internet, including me. Do your own research. But when there's other people that are smarter than I am, who are significantly better investors than I am, buying, I'm typically buying. I mean, it's like, Warren Buffett buying Occidental at $60. Is anybody else buying Occidental at $60? Not a huge amount. But Occidental got a buy-in here at $60.20 on the open. So, yeah. That's on the 65-minute. Okay, dog is crying. I'm out of here. You guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. See ya.